Okay, we're live. We're live. And like I said, this is pretty much the first time we're doing this, at least at NMD. It's it's a fantastic idea that I think it's a great idea, and I do believe that we can get quite some good things going with this. Right. I think using this platform, there are a few things I can do. You know, just to get to get the process going. Okay. Hello, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, fine, sir. And you?
Good, 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 good. I'm quite happy to have you here at NMD. We're starting this series of broadcasts where we share the mission design process. Okay, and
Okay.
we go mission by mission. This is the intention. We want to go mission by mission, so we take one problem. You know, if you remember when we were working, we take one problem and we move from that problem to establishing that at the end of the day, if we're not using the space is the best way to address this problem, no? And we will build with a short series of live broadcasts. We will build the how can I say, the mission, define the problem, build the mission, build the simulations, you know, sort of model the spacecraft that we think might address this problem. And along the way, I would like to invite different parties. You know, if I do a good job, maybe next week or the week after, because I want to do this once a week. If I do a good job, I'll get somebody from Samara Sense to come and talk about how their camera could potentially, you know, help to solve this problem. Or if I could have somebody from I don't know, there are a number of companies that could, you know, intervene, right? But for today, you guys are the ones who identified this problem. Okay, I find that it is a very important and significant problem to address. I'm going to share um, this, the, some of the parts of the report the document you wrote. Um, I'll just share the first page. Hi, anyone who is online, feel free to say hi, put a comment, or you know anything. I'm going to share. This is the first time I'm doing this, so bear with me if something just doesn't work out right. It'll be okay. It will get better in time. Right. So I want to share this. How's that? How's that? Fantastic. So this is the document you produced, yes?
Yes, sir. That's our document.
All right. Fantastic. I was very proud of it. And I'm going to go through it. And you guys just so this is the team, you know, go ahead. Present yourselves. These are your names here as a group that you call DK2NT. I imagine it's because of the initials of everybody in the team. Um, go for it. Let me know. Tell me. Also, present the team. Who is present today? Who is not present today? And you know, what is the problem? What situation did you identify? And how do you feel that space is the best way to solve this?
Okay, thank you, sir. We are the team DK2NT. I myself, I am Nembot Arno Gael, and on my left, this is Tamar Hans Lionel. On my right, this is Chunde Chunke Dolumen Hervé. And in our team, Kamchwa Ronaldo is not present today, and Jasuna Florent. They were having a class, so they could not join us for today.
Okay.
And
So
during the training, the professional training, which was offered through NMG and with the help of the IT Dollar Institute of Technology, we worked. And due to all what we received, my colleagues and I, when we were thinking, all our ideas were gathered under one thing about the humanity. And at the end, one of our members had the brilliant idea to think of our migrants. And due to that, we said, okay, why couldn't we put into profit the knowledge that we have acquired through the training in order to help our brothers? That is why we had the idea and the objective of our mission, which was to save the lives. Because nowadays we have the information through which so many of our African brothers are going through the Mediterranean Sea to join to Europe without having any permission. And we said, okay, why can't we then use this to be controlling their movement in order to save them in case of a situation and maybe at the end stop their illegal migration. So that was the idea we had on our mission.
yeah, I remember, and I remember also when we're discussing this, when you presented it during the training, there was a question about who might be interested in developing such a mission. You know, would it come from Spain? Would it come from Morocco? Who might or who might not? And it sort of came to the conclusion that it's really a collective effort. No, it would be a collective effort to have to develop something that can save lives in there, in the sense that when you are not in someone's territory, they really can't do much. And I think you mentioned that part of the strategy is sometimes to not die, is to try and get into Spanish waters and cry for help. Yes.
Yes, sir, actually. And due to that, we thought that there could be an arrangement, a political arrangement between Morocco and Spain in such a way that each time a migrant is taken into the sea, he can be brought back into his national territory because we are clear and we know that it is not normal or it is illegal for an authority to catch somebody in another territory. That is why we said the primordial thing for the success of this mission will be that there should be a political arrangement between the two countries in such a way that each time somebody is caught into the sea, they will know what exactly to do depending on the political arrangement between the two states and the two countries.
Yeah. Yeah. If we go to let's look at the zone of
Narrow.
interest, so to speak. See if I can share this. Let's look at it geographically now, if we can find. Let's see.
Pardon, sir.
Yeah, I just want to open. I just want to open a tab. Let's see. Maybe I share this window. Yeah.
Tomorrow, what you want to talk about?
Okay, so geographically speaking, let's get into some specifics. This is the area, right? This is where people try to cross. You know, let's talk some numbers. You've obviously done some research on this problem. So how bad is it? This is it's about 15 to 20 kilometers, depending on your trajectory as you're crossing. No, one may not think it's a lot, but tell me, give me numbers. Like, what kind of size of boats do people get on? How many do they get on there? And what on how many crossings would you have on average every, I don't know, week or second week or something like that?
Okay, sir. Given that on that trajectory, it is an illegal issue. We did not really have the exact figures, but we designed our mission in such a way that whatever the number of people who are crossing and whatever their frequency, we can easily catch them because taking the situation of the earth, we
Mm-hmm.
went on with our brainstorming and we discovered that our area is just above the equator, and we had from the informations that we had in the internet, we were told that the earth rotates at around the equator at 110 kilometers per hour, whereas our satellite is moving 27,000 kilometers per hour. And due to that, we said, okay, let us assume that the earth is static and it is not moving compared to the speed of the satellite. So actually, during the day, because we designed our mission only on the day period, and due to
So
that,
you just
we
take
have
images during the
our
day.
geographical approach. Pardon, sir.
So you just take images during the day, which, I mean, it's optical, makes sense. But I guess my question is, you're trying to measure boats with people on it. You know, you have some
Yes, sir.
idea of the size of these boats, and typically how many people. I mean, I don't know about typically, but based on maybe what you have heard, have read, you know, reports, you would find
Yes,
how
sir.
many people packed on these boats, for example.
Okay, so the size of the boat is usually around 5 meters long and 3 meters wide, and we can have around 22 or above. That is, the average is around 22 people, and at times it
Packed
can
on
be
that
more.
boat.
The boat sizes of the boat can even be bigger than that.
And the attempt to cross is by rowing. They manage to go any way they can.
No, so they have an engine. Their boat
Okay.
have engines, sir, from the informations
Okay.
we got.
Okay. And sometimes you mentioned that these sizes are small, uh, too small for radar to be effective in that sense, and sometimes they get lost for days in the Mediterranean.
Yes, sir. Because
Okay.
from the okay.
No, go ahead, please.
Yes, sir, because from our research, we got the information that actually their main aim is to cross the international boundary of Morocco in such a way that when they will be caught, they will be in the territory of Spain, so that they will be brought back to Spain. And actually, at times, the the, the security members who are there to work at the coast usually have difficulties because from the information we got is that when they leave, either they will be the ones to call the security members of the coast, or some family members will call in such a way that immediately they will cross the international boundary, they will look for them and bring them back to Spain. And at times it takes a lot of time
To find them.
to find them, sir. Yes.
Okay, so I mean, I understand. It's one thing to know that some people are crossing. It's another thing to find them and bring them, you know,
Yes, sir.
to safety. And in that time, there's enough time for a couple of people to die in between. I mean, as I understand, you have men, women, children, pregnant women on these boats.
Yes, sir.
So the idea is to be able to identify identify these boats and have daily measurements in the
Yes,
sense
sir.
that you will have a chance to identify any crossing boat before it makes it to the other side, or at least while it is still in the waters, to be able to communicate an estimate of its position, um, so that at least one gets a better chance of saving them within that 24-hour period.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That
Okay,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
Which means that you need we need an imager that can identify something of that size in that perimeter. If you take 20 kilometers by 20 kilometers, so a square that focuses on just that bit of the Mediterranean, and you're measuring that square, and you have an imager that will be able to tell you to identify an object as small as 5 meters by 5 meters, and then communicate this information on both sides, I imagine, both from the Morocco side and the Spanish side, um, so that people don't get lost anymore. They can be identified, they can be located and saved if need be. So that part, I think, if one can manage, if it were cost effective to do it from Earth, don't you think it would have been done already? If it were cost effective to use either a drone or a plane or something for that purpose, do you think it would have been done already?
So actually, for us, we thought that it will not really be effective because the surface area covered maybe by a drone will not be as large as that of a camera with on a nano satellite, because at the height at which it is found, it will cover a larger width. You have a larger width of covering.
Okay, I mean, it's not done. The problem is still there. It's been going
Yes,
on
sir.
for years, and
Yes, sir.
and I imagine that one tries. There's someone you can send a drone to sort of hover around, but drones don't have that much autonomy, and if you're going to send it more than 10 kilometers away, it becomes a bit complicated, no?
Yes.
And if you're going to be flying a helicopter every time that you hear someone is there, it ends up costing quite a bit of money. So I think it does make sense to look at a nano satellite for that, right? And I quite like the fact that you get to that point. But then I have another question. Do you think that this kind of a mission, of course, the target is to save lives um, at the level of the Mediterranean, right? Do you think that this kind of a mission, if developed and if people communicate around the fact that there is a satellite dedicated to look at objects of that kind of size in the Mediterranean, right there in the Strait of Gibraltar, do you think it's going to be a deterrent and it's going to somehow cause some of our brothers and sisters to think twice before trying to cross?
Yes, we think it is true that so if when they will realize that each time they are trying, they are being caught, they will look for another way. But since we already know the way through which we can easily be checking on them, we can continuously use that method to check on them, because each time they will be trying, we will see them and bring them back. And due to that, it will cause many people to think twice before they will try to take the Mediterranean Sea, because it will be useless. If I know that each time I will try to take the sea to go somewhere, they will bring me back, then I'll just prefer to allow it like that and stay where I am and try to see how I can develop myself and have a better life where I am.
I mean, people, they hardly give up. I mean, you hear stories about people who've tried 6, 7 times, because there's a hope that there will be this one day where you make it through. But I mean, yes, we can have a space mission that will save lives. I don't have a doubt that this space mission, could definitely save lives over there. But if like you say, if someone knows that it doesn't matter the number of attempts. If this is how you're trying to cross, you're going to get caught. Then it will probably reduce people trying to cross this way. Yes, like you said, they'll look for another way. And this is a bigger problem. It's not just a problem at this level, it goes all the way into political will and economic situations in different countries. That is a different conversation. But at least while looking for solutions in that sense, let's try to get people to not die so much in the Mediterranean. And I really, appreciate that part of the conversation. In your in your report, I mean, you show some of these pictures. What sort of paint the paint the picture of how the situation is. You do some simulations. Uh, you do some simulations. We're going to do the simulations. We're going to start looking at some of these parameters next week in the live that we're going to do next week, right? But we're going to dive in and look at the parameters, but probably before that we'll sort of define some mission constraints and basically we'll be looking at if we want to measure, if we want to be able to identify these boats, what kind of imager do we look for? And during the week, I'll try to reach out to some people at Chimera Sense to see if they'll be willing to come on board for the streaming next week. um, and let's discuss the size of the boats, where they are, what kind of tilt can we afford, and things like that, to always be able to are we condemned to only do nadir pointing? The beautiful thing about this mission is that if you're just doing nadir pointing, you still capture all the area of interest. It's actually going to be the best images, I imagine, because of what the work you've done on looking at the capabilities of the Chimera Sense imagers and the simulations you did to sort of point to the fact that indeed, if you if you if you use the approach you proposed, every day there will be images, and every day if there is a life to save, it's really going to be about whether there's money to always go out and save these lives. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Or maybe do we have a network interruption? It seems we have a network interruption. Yep, we do have a network interruption. As soon as they come back online, I hope they do reconnect them, or soon at the end of this live stream, which is about talking about the problem that we're trying to address and that we'll be solving as we design this space mission. All right, let me stop the sharing for now. There we go. And as soon as they come back, I'll have them on, but it's not going to be much longer. So there we have it. We have a space mission. We have a situation. There are immigrants attempting to cross the Mediterranean as often as they possibly could. It costs them their lives because it's generally a suicidal cross. Once you embark on this journey, it ends up, I think one of three ways, and it's right here. Generally, people leave from, I mean, this is it's a bigger problem, you know. You live from wherever you live in Africa. You know, the conversation of how people get to Tanger before trying to cross is a different story. It's not funny at all. But then you get here, and it's basically the closest distance between Africa and Europe. And you try to cross over here the Mediterranean. And once you attempt this crossing, it ends up either those in these small boats that try to cross illegally. Either they end up not making it on the other side because they died trying to cross, or some of them, hopefully everybody, get detected and found as they're trying to cross and saved by the Spanish authorities, brought back to the coast. Some of them are sent back on the other side. So either some people make it to the other side dead and then washed up on the beach, like as has happened before, happens quite regularly apparently, or some people, those who survive, get saved, or some of them, whoever makes it to the other side.
We had we had the problem of connection.
Yeah, I realized. Okay, we're back, and we're going to be closing now. There's one guest I was hoping time to make it. It seems he didn't have the time, but I really want to thank you guys for this. I want to also thank Douala Institute of Technology, you know, for making it possible for guys like you to, you know, yes, take the training, but also bring to light situations like this. And it really speaks to the question, and it is a question that is asked quite often. What's up with you know, Africans trying to go to space when there are other quote unquote basic problems to solve? And this is one of the problems that could have only been identified in a way that would propose a space-based solution by people from the African soil, because this is who is crossing, you know, and it's Africans dying, and this is who is directly concerned. And what I like about your mission, oh goodness, we lost them again. What I like about the mission is that it does encourage, you know, others to really think about some of these African problems for which space could bring a viable solution, right? Okay, we had planned for 30 minutes live broadcast today. We are, I think, 28 minutes and some change in. I think for a first time, it's not too bad. We met the objectives were met. So every space mission is trying to solve a problem. Every space mission is really how to solve a problem. This is one problem, and the first step is to find out whether space is the best way to address it. They did the work. They did the technical work to go and compute, you know, what it may cost to fly a helicopter every day and fly a drone and all the pros and cons. They did the work. But if you just think about it, if there were a cost-effective way to stop all these people dying by the hundreds, probably would have tried one or two, right? Probably they have tried one or two. Some of the attempts are political in the sense of putting responsibility on certain countries to control their boundaries. But human beings are human beings, and if you're desperate enough, you'll find a way. And people find a way to get to this point where they're just going to have to take the suicidal cross. And now there is a possibility to think, to design a solution that will save their lives. Maybe it's going to stop their dreams of crossing over to Europe illegally, but at least it will save their lives, right? We'll welcome them once more and say thank you. I think they are back. Let's see. Okay. Right. We're going to close. Really want to say thank you again. I hope you are. How can I say? You stay connected. You stay tuned for as we design this mission. And I do hope that you share. Share the channel, share the YouTube channel, so people get notified when we do these lives and get a chance to ask questions. And I also hope that you keep working and that you stay involved in the space industry. And all the best for the rest of your studies at DIT. I think that will be very soon. I think there'll be very soon a second session where I'm going to train a second group of students at the DIT. And I actually look forward to that. When it's announced, I hope you guys can talk to your mates and encourage them to do this training that DIT is making possible for you. There are the training online as well, that as you can find in the description of this live. But at the end of the day, only what truly is the true value is things like this, where guys like you highlight critical problems like this, and then we have a chance to talk about how we can solve them, especially using space technology. So well done, best of courage, and I will talk to you again very soon. Just a word of thanks to is there anything else that you want to say for closing?
Okay.
Nothing, anything you want to add maybe?
For now,
okay. Okay. Well, thank you. Thanks to everyone who watching this video. Anyone who was here live, thank you for your time. Anyone who's going to watch, after the live is done, thank you also for your time. I hope you subscribe. I hope you share. We're going to be doing this once a week. This is the mission we're going to be working on for. I don't know how many weeks it's going to take. We're going to do it 30 minutes at a time. Right? And hopefully I get to invite as many different stakeholders as possible to discuss how really we should make this happen. Okay. If we do get along the way some funding to actually put a spacecraft in orbit, or if we do get a host who's willing to house a payload, to address this specific problem, we're happy. We just carry on with the design, and we're really happy to either have a payload on a satellite or on a one stage of a rocket, or something that's going to be trying to take one image a day, or one good image a day. Because I think this is what you came, this is the conclusion you came to. We'll do again and see, but you figured that if you manage to have one good image per day, then you can save a life. That's the conclusion you came to, yes? I think Charles is here. Let's welcome Charles real quickly. Let's see. Can you hear me, guy?
Yes, sir. yes, you. Just that it is only too late because
Yeah, the connection is not the best. And it's the first time. I mean, we try. I have Charles trying to connect. Unfortunately, it's not working. It's from the Space Generation Advisory Council, national point of contact for Cameroon, and I thought it would be good to have him on the first edition because I mean, it's also one way to meet you guys and talk about one more training that is coming at the end of this month, at the beginning of June, also on space mission design with Open Cosmos. I believe Open Cosmos is going to be giving a training um, in partnership with the Space Generation Advisory Council. I wanted him to give to share a bit of information on that and what's the SGAC space activities in Cameroon, how other people can get involved. But if it didn't work today, it will certainly work next time. I hope you guys stay tuned. All right. Keep well, guys. Have a good evening. And stay well. Let's see.
That's what I said.